The 2011 NBA playoffs are underway as we welcome you to Miami, Florida, a sold-out American Airlines Arena as they watch their hometown Heat in their first-round matchup against the Philadelphia 76ers. The Heat winning the season series in a sweep 3-0. Already some playoff excitement as Chicago and Indiana battling in a Game 1. And good afternoon, everyone. Along with Mark Jackson and Jeff Van Gundy, Mike Breen on hand, Lisa Salters with us as well. It's the best time of the year as the NBA playoffs are underway, and our ABC coverage starts with these Miami Heat. And Mark, when the Big Three was formed with Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, and Chris Bosh back in July, they spoke of multiple championships. Well, they've gone through a regular season with hype, with hate, with ups and downs. They won 58 games, and now it's their chance to show it. Eric Spoelstra keeps saying, we know we're good, but now we have to prove it. Those three have to prove it.
Well, absolutely. You're talking about this team, a terrific regular season, but let's be honest, they're not going to be judged on what they did in the regular season. They brought these guys together to win it all. Ultimately, you take a look at this team, what they did collectively, the second all-time leading threesome in the history of the game. They got to defend up to their capabilities, and then most importantly, take care of home court advantage. They lost 11 games during the regular season at home. They can't do that in the postseason.
As the second seed, they started home against Philadelphia. 76ers had a terrific season. Doug Collins did a great job. They won 41 games, but no one is giving them a chance to win this series. Now, as Doug Collins says, for them to put a doubt into the Heat's mind, what do they have to do?
Well, they have to play fast and quick, and they have to score in transition. But they have to keep the Heat out of transition by limiting their turnovers. Philly committed the least amount of turnovers in the NBA, and that's going to be put upon their 2 point guards, Drew Holiday and Lou Williams. You see the numbers there. Lou Williams has had a dynamic impact on this team coming off the bench along with Thaddeus Young. They're going to have to be great in this series to be competitive. Let's take a look at our starting lineups, brought to you by Taco Bell for the 7-seeded 76ers at 41 and 41. Elton Brand, their leading scorer and rebounder. Jody Meeks in the backcourt to start with Holiday. Andre Iguodala and Spencer Hawes up front with Brand. And for the Miami Heat with the big threes, Arjunas Ilgauskas starts in their center by committee. And Mike Bibby, the midseason acquisition and a veteran of playoff battles, starting at point guard for Eric Spoelstra. So here we go for the Miami Heat. It has been a wild ride this regular season, and they hope it's a long ride to what they feel can be an NBA championship. But they're up against a very scrappy team in Philadelphia. And Ilgauskas gets things started. The Heat, as we said, won 58 games. They were good offensively, second best shooting team in the league. Good defensively, second in opponent's field goal percentage. But they turn it over, and Iguodala quickly can't connect, and Bosh the rebound. That's exactly what Philly has to do. They have to force turnovers, get in transition, and convert, because they're going to have a hard time finding ways to score in the half court.
And you're so right, and you're the Heat. You can't turn the basketball over. Make them defend and execute on the offensive end.
Wade looking to post up inside on Holiday. Bosh the open jump shot. That won't go. And Holiday, just 20 years old, the starting point guard for the Sixers. This is his first NBA playoff game. Is it intimidating, Mark, for a young point guard?
No, not for this young man. Maybe for some young point guards. But I watched this young man in California in high school, and basically you see him grow, develop extreme confidence, and he's ready for the moment.
Jody Meeks misses. The tip in, though, good by Andre Iguodala. Iguodala, who's been a high scorer and star for this team over the years, more of a role in what Jeff really is a very well-balanced unit, Philadelphia.
It is, and Iguodala is in a better role for him, being an elite defender and a ball mover and passer versus being relied on to be a 20-point-a-game scorer.
Iguodala starting on LeBron James. Ilgauskas, that jump shot won't go. Bosh on the follow.
I like what Elton Brand did in that situation. Don't show up a player, but look at Drew Holiday and say, that's your responsibility. If I rotate over to help, your job as one of the smaller guys is to put a body on Chris Bosh. He did not that time, and Bosh got the tackle.
Holiday sets, fires, and hits the three-pointer. The Sixers have 6 different players averaging in double figures. Elton Brand's the leading scorer at 15 a game. So the key for them is always balance.
We have some weird colored shoes on the floor today, too.
Yeah, Holiday's got an unusual blue Bibby sets, and that one off the mark. Ilgauskas, and they call a loose ball foul on Hawes. Spencer Hawes, fourth-year player out of Washington, picks up his first. And Miami will inbound.
Ilgauskas has always been an underrated offensive rebounder. 7'3", really long, good timing.
Bosch, quick catch and shoot. That won't go. This is the first playoff series between these two teams. They've never met in the postseason. Brand. And Elton Brand gets it to go. Brand has had so many bouts with injuries over the past couple of years. Had a real nice season. Leads the team in scoring, rebounding, and blocked shots.
There was a time early on in the season when it looked like Elton Brand was done, but I think physically he just wasn't up to par, but certainly responded and at times carried this team.
Ilgauskas all 7-3 of them. Gets that to go. Playoff experience for Ilgauskas all those years in Cleveland. Holiday drives on Bibby. Nice double clutch, and Holiday able to bank it in.
I think if you're Drew Holiday, that's got to be the mindset. Attack Mike Bibby on the offensive end, and I like to see him extend his defense, pressuring Bibby in the backcourt also.
Tough assignment for Jody Meeks as Bosch double team. Good ball movement for the Heat.
But this is a good Philadelphia defensive team. You watch these rotations, that's a heck of a sequence of defense, but a little bit better offense. Good ball movement by Miami.
Well, Doug Collins said he's so proud of his team and how every night they work hard defensively. They're not the most talented team, but they're a team that plays as hard as anyone night in and night out as there is in the NBA. Iguodala inside to Hawes, and Hawes gets it to go.
I really like the patience of the Philadelphia 76ers right now on the offensive end. Early on, when you talk about a young basketball team, you allow the moment to capture you and you try to do too much. Right now, they're trusting each other.
It was a tough start for Philadelphia. They were 3-13 to begin. Bosch shot bounces around, tipped in by Ilgauskas. The Sixers wanted offensive interference, but Ilgauskas gets it to go.
And a good non-call on the charge.
Sixers, after missing their first couple of shots, have hit 5 in a row.
You're going to hold on to that charge feeling you have, right?
What do you mean?
As far as that should be eliminated.
What?
You got a personal grind as far as charges being called.
No, legitimate ones that you earn, I'm all for. You take a good hit, you're making you don't like flop around like a little child.
Bosch turns it over. Meeks tries to throw it down. Lots of contact there. Wade went for the block. And Meeks gets it to go. And how about the Sixers with a 7-point lead to start?
Can you get a block and give up a basket? Because he just blocked that into the basket. I wonder if he gets credited.
That's a good question. Meanwhile, Sixers have hit 7 in a row. Bibby can't connect. Hawes the rebound. I asked Eric Spoelstra before the game, what's the biggest challenge in facing Philadelphia? And first word out of his mouth was speed. They're showing that right now. They're a deep team. As Brand gets up, knocks it down. Brand has been a 2010 scorer in this league for a number of years. Puts that one in, and a 9-point Philadelphia lead, and all the early cheers have gone a little silent. Sixers with a perfect start.
Playing well. Force another turnover. This is when they're at their best in transition. Give Jody Meeks credit. Take it to the hole, finish with strength. Great play by Wade. Philly, 8 straight makes.
Doug Collins, after a 7-year absence as a coach, of course, been a long-time broadcaster, back on the sidelines. What a job he's done. 14-win improvement from last year's Philadelphia team, and he's done that everywhere he's gone. At least a 10-win improvement in the first year of all 4 places that he's been, starting back with Michael Jordan and the Bulls in '86-'87, then with the Detroit Pistons, the Washington Wizards again reunited with Jordan, and now back in the town that drafted him #1 when he came out of Illinois State as a player and played for the 76ers.
Boy, has he gotten some horrible jobs in his time. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at those. They win 41 games. It's an 18-game improvement. I mean, as Wade goes to the rim, but it just shows you one thing. He is really a fine teacher of the game, and I think That's what you see when you see his teams play. They're low turnovers. That's not by accident. That's by design. This guy really knows how to teach the offense.
Lowest turnovers in the NBA, and they'll need that in this series. Holiday nearly turns that over. Gets it inside for Brand, and Brand puts it in, and a foul. Elton Brand, a terrific start, and it's an 11-point lead.
And what I like about the way that Elton Brand has started this ball game, he's taken the matchup with Chris Bosh personally, demanding the basketball, making aggressive attacking moves towards the hoop. This isn't a finesse play. That's trying to go to the basket, sending a message to his guys, but he is setting the tone early on the offensive end.
Remember, Miami, second in the NBA in the regular season in opponent's field goal percentage, at times dominant defensively. Well, right now, Philadelphia, 9 of 11 from the field. They've hit 9 straight shots.
Think about it. Chicago went through the same thing today in their game against Indiana, where Indiana was quicker, faster, and more ready. And right now, Philadelphia is doing the same thing. They're quicker. They're playing harder. They're playing with better rhythm offensively. You don't know these first playoff games how things are going to go early in the game.
Bulls, though, did come back and beat the Pacers at the end of game 1. Bibby lines it up, knocks down a 3. Mike Bibby, so many big playoff games in his career, way back starting in the Sacramento era.
But that's how he's going to be effective for this Heat basketball team. Get the ball in the hands of Wade and James and allow those guys to make plays.
Holiday on the pull-up jump shot. Rebound, Bosh. Bosh, the leading rebounder on this Heat team. Holiday against James. James drives in. Brand got a piece of it. And James thinks he also got a piece of the arm. Iguodala, Spencer Hawes. Nice stop as opposed to going to the basket. That clearly would have been a charge.
An excellent pass by Iguodala, and that's what he's a very good, very underrated passer.
Also to toss the head from Holiday to Iguodala, so you got to trust your teammates in order to make those plays.
He averages over 6 assists per game. Terrific all-around player. Wade to Bibby, shot clock down to 3. Bibby's going to have to throw it up. Barely hits the rim. He didn't. The 24-second violation.
And what I mean by trusting your teammates, if I'm the point guard, I'm not throwing ahead to just anybody because I don't want reckless basketball, but throwing ahead to Iguodala says, I know that you're going to make the right play or get it back to me. That's excellent execution by the Sixers.
Yeah, you only want to advance that ball to an advantage. Obviously, they had a numbers advantage. That was a good choice by Holiday.
Meeks on the drive, kicks it out, Iguodala. Another nice pass. Meeks, their best three-point shooter, nails that one down, and it's a 25-11 start. Philadelphia 11 of 14 from the field.
If you are Doug Collins, you cannot draw this start up any better than they've had it on both ends of the floor. Great offense and outstanding defense.
The defensive 3 seconds, so a one-shot technical. The ball movement has been perfect for Philadelphia.
Coach, you got to love this. Turning down shots, making plays for one another. Sell the shot, put the ball on the floor, and get it to the three-point shooter. The easiest three-point shot in the business is in the corner. That's great offense.
Well, Doug Collins told us yesterday he was going to tell his team, don't get discouraged by the initial onslaught of the Miami Heat. But it's the onslaught by the 76ers that have quieted the fans here at the American Airlines Arena. James Jones will check in. Rogowskis will sit. Joel Anthony also comes in.